as Riley was able to cut backdoor style to get the scoring started here in the second half.
Yeah, really impressed with that guard combination of Khalif Toombs and Brandon Riley for South Carolina State.
Brereton, yes. He has found the range. It eluded him for a good portion of this non-conference stretch of the season. But over the course of the Diamond Head Classic, that double clutch triple against Xavier at the end of regulation to force overtime. Since then, Brereton has been a bit of a different player.
Well, you know, once again,
so Hawaii fights for the rebound. Riley gets it back after all the pitter-patter, but he steps on the baseline. It belongs to Hawaii.
once again, I do not think that is experience. I think that's comfort. He's getting more comfortable in Hawaii. He's getting more comfortable in the offense, and I think he's doing a much better job because of that.
And I think from a player standpoint also, Coach, he's allowed to make those mistakes, miss some shots, and Coach Arnold still goes to him in big minutes and quality time here for the Warriors.
Yeah, because I think he'll be like Zane Johnson next year. You know, he'll be the three-point shooter, and you know, he'll be allowed to go ahead and shoot that three anytime he feels comfortable.
By the way, guys, game tied at 44. First tie of the game since it was 0-0. Here's a steal. Joaquin batted it away. Ostrowski comes out of there with it, shovels it to Brereton. Elects not to take the shot. Thomas, power step in the lane, draws the whistle.
And the Warriors are playing very unselfish basketball here. Moving the ball around. Maya gives it up to the wing. Brereton could have forced it. Feeling good about his shot. Could have forced that three. Went inside to Justin Thomas.
Absolutely right. I mean, he could have shot that ball at any time, and a three-point shooter would have. And I think next year he will. It's just that,
I think he'll be ordered next year.
he passed the ball and made a terrific play, and obviously it helped their offense.
Well, maybe he should have shot it now after looking at that first free throw.
I'll let you know. 6 of 17 from the free throw line. But for Brereton and Zane Johnson, who has been somewhat lukewarm from three-land for a good portion of this season as well. Brereton, the follow-up and the foul. It's all working right now for the junior from Bartlett, Tennessee. But for Brereton and Johnson to have sort of found those three-point strokes, I mean, it's kind of like seeing an old friend again. It just must feel great.
Well, you know, coach is playing them both at the same time. And when you have 2 three-point shooters on the floor at the same time, you definitely stretch the defense. And what that'll do is allow the inside to be more wide open than it already is already.
Brereton was 6 of 7 from the field, 3 of 3 from the three-point arc, but can't find it from the free throw line there. Hawaii 6 of 19 from the charity stripe. And a blocking foul called against Thomas. You were saying, David.
Yeah, you know, and going back to the both three-point shooters playing at the same time, you gotta like how Hans Brereton played this game. Funnels his man down. That's a bad call, I feel, by the referee. Justin Thomas definitely was outside the foul line area. But you go back on the similarities and differences of those three-point shooters, and Hans, I think, brings a little bit more to the table with his defensive intensity, going after those offensive rebounds, willing to get on the floor 90% of the time, and really doing those extra things inside the paint for the Warriors, and not only being able to shoot from the outside, but he gets himself going inside as well.
South Carolina State a perfect 7 of 7. Make it 8 of 8 from the free throw line.
Who are these guys shooting free throws? They shoot 60% during the rest of the season.
Thomas thought about it from the elbow, got a little closer, and hits the runner.
See, now that's a good, intelligent move, and that's a great idea to get a little closer for your shot.
And he was around the free throw line area, so I didn't like that area. It's not doing a good job for the Warriors tonight, so he went inside. Nice touch.
11 points, 8 rebounds for Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas is coming around during the WAC season. He will be playing all the time during the WAC season. He is an excellent, excellent basketball player.
Riley among the trees in the lane, couldn't find it. Now the numbers for Hawaii. Brereton can't finish. Thomas can't finish. Brereton had it, fell to the floor. They're going to call a tie-up. Possession arrow will keep it here with Hawaii.
That's good hustle on the part of South Carolina State of not giving up the chip shot layup. And that's a nice pass by Maya. As you go back again to Hans Brereton. Finishing here, it's strong, at least going up there. Everyone's around the rim. Justin Thomas, about 8 or 5 or 6 offensive rebounds tonight. But again, Brereton, once again, on the floor. That's rare for a three-point shooter, really getting dirty throughout the game in the paint.
I guess if you play in Nebraska, you are going to get dirty.
And still had the presence of mind to smile for the camera.
Ouch.
Zane Johnson throws it right to Aaron Martin. Here's Khalif Toombs, yes. His toe was on the line, so that's a two-pointer.
Khalif Toombs hasn't scored all night, so, I mean, you know, he's been their second leading scorer. It's about time for him to do a little something.
Third-year starter Khalif Toombs out of Atlantic City. And a foul in the post called against the freshman Luka Radovic. That's his third.
It's nice pressure and pass off by Martin, and there was no doubt in Khalif's mind that he was going to take that shot. And he's a good-looking point guard, coach. He's really quick. He's able to get inside and showing that he has that range from the outside. But as you stated earlier, hasn't really done much offensively in the first half. But that's the way to get himself going.
Well, what I like most about him is from New Jersey, and so am I.
Oh, Hans Brereton.
It's like we're in a twilight zone tonight. You know, you see the worst shooting team we played against, the Warriors have played against all year long, and now you see a three-point shooter in traffic finishing with the flush. Amazing.
A new season high, and thus a career high for Hans Brereton, 17 points. Toombs to answer, can't do it. The tip-in's not there. Rebound Thomas. Ostrowski to Johnson to Brereton for three. Got it! Hans Brereton has arrived over the last week for this University of Hawaii basketball team. The Rainbow Warriors, who trailed by 10 in the first half, now lead by 5 thanks to a 12-4 run. Hans Brereton rocking the rim. And from outside the arc, 4 of 4. A career night for Hans Brereton. 8 for 10 from the field, a perfect 4 of 4 from outside the property line. He has a career high 20.
Now, you know what that'll do going into the WAC, they will definitely now have to guard him all over the floor like they do Zane. It'll open up the offense, and once again, it'll make Vander much, much more dangerous, and Justin Thomas.
Brereton has now hit double figures in scoring his last 3 ball games, had 13 versus Xavier, 10 versus Clemson. And tonight, that 20 spot. Great article written by Brian McInnes in the Honolulu Star-Advertiser about Hans Brereton and his younger brother Landon, 13 years of age, who is a brain cancer survivor. And an offensive foul called against Omar Sanders. Vander Joachim able to dig in there and take it.
It's very rare you're going to see a big guy take a charge knowing that he has a shot blocking ability to just send that into the 3rd or 4th row. But, you know, you go back to talking about Hans and what he's going through with his family, and it puts everything in perspective regarding the game of basketball. him doing it for his younger brother, and of course enjoying the game. But you know, I go back to that pass right before that shot. Zane Johnson, the sharpshooter of the team, shows the unselfishness of not forcing it, knowing that Hans has a hot hand.
Oh, Justin Thomas was thinking about absolutely bringing down the house. Tried to one-hand the alley-oop and lost it out of bounds. And Gib Arnold saying, where was the two-hand finish?
That's ridiculous, and I'll explain that word a little bit later. In many ways, that was ridiculous.
Would have been lovely.
OC Sports. OC Sports, presented on Oceanic Time Warner Cable, is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii and Kaiser Permanente.
You know, when I say the word ridiculous, I'm hip with the young kids nowadays, and if he had finished this, it would have been ridiculous. But if he just laid it in, he turned it into a ridiculous move of sending that ball where Coach Wallace is sitting in the stands over there. But, wow, I mean, that word can be used in any direction.
No. The object of basketball
Coach. It looked
is
good,
to
though, as a
play
player.
good, not to look good. Play good is the object. Looking good is not the object.
Look beautiful. We could edit that if I was trying to get into an NBA team, you know?
I can tell you Coach wasn't too happy about it, that's for sure.
Definitely would have been a lot happier being upset.
If there was an ESPN Sports Center almost top plays, maybe that would have made the cut.
Don't they have those? Come on, man.
That's another sport, but maybe it would apply. Here's Johnson, the takeaway. Ostrowski finishes on the other side and gets the whistle.
I mean, anyone out there watching this game that's born and raised on the island, and anyone that tells you what's going to happen when you're a local player trying to get into the Division I level, you need not to look further than Maya Ostrowski. Nice steal by Zane Johnson, but doing it on the passing end today in this game, Zane Johnson, knowing that he doesn't have the advantage height-wise, but he just goes into the body and finishes strong. And that's just a football mentality of having contact all your life, and just great finish.
Omar Sanders picking up his fourth. Remember, he had the hot hand in the early goings of the first half for South Carolina State. He now sits. And it is an 8-point advantage for the home team, Rainbow Warriors. Toombs bounces it off of his shoe. It's saved along the far sideline by Martin, but here's a turnover after the fact. Ostrowski finishes the deal. 5 points for Maya. And it is now a 10-point lead for the Rainbows. They have completely flipped the script after having found themselves down 10 in the first half.
You can see Aaron Martin, good seeing him walking off there. Look like he's cramped up trying to go up for that block on Maya. Again, nice job with the steal. Zane again with another assist. Maya, he's up by that rim, by the backboard, the square. And he's about 5'9", and showing that he has that vertical hop that they showed a lot with that dunk that a lot of people don't believe that this kid can dunk, but believe me, Maya has that jumping ability to throw it down.
5 points, 4 assists for Maya. Zane Johnson with 4 steals. Zane Johnson entered this game leading the team in steals with 10. He now has 14 on the season.
And he also...
How about another steal? The cockroach by Ostrowski, and he finishes.
You know, the way he just glides up and down the court, he's figuring out Khalif Toombs, who might look like a quicker point guard. But Jeremiah Ostrowski is just so savvy out there in the backcourt on the defensive end, but more importantly, he's finishing.
12-0 run for Hawaii, which comes to an end on that jumper right there by Khalif Toombs.
Well, I'll tell you, the reason why Zane Johnson has more steals than Ostrowski is because he's got more playing time. Ostrowski's a terrific anticipator of passes.
And he was trying to be sealed off by Khalif Toombs, and you can just see that vertical jump again of Jeremiah Ostrowski, but more importantly, that steal, he read it, stayed away from fouling Khalif Toombs in the backcourt, and able to finish with the easy layup.
Yeah, Hawaii turned into a bunch of kleptomaniacs here in the second half, and that has helped to contribute to this turnaround, a lead that is now 11. And perhaps for South Carolina State, some of the fatigue of dressing only 10 players for this game, that long trip from Orangeburg, South Carolina. They did have a few days off. Their last game was on the 21st of December, but they had to bus it to Charlotte, North Carolina, then fly to Phoenix, then fly to Honolulu. By far their longest road trip of the season, their longest road trip in years. But Hawaii looking to keep applying that pressure. Thomas, this time finishes and the foul.
I think Thomas is realizing what's going to keep him in the game. Just finish it, as Coach Tony talked about. Nice, basic left-hand layup. Old Justin Thomas would have tried to throw that down with his right hand, but he went with his left again. Great dish by Jeremiah Ostrowski again for that nice finish.
And this second half has embodied the team that we saw predominantly throughout that Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic last week.
And you gotta love it if you're the Warriors that they're doing all this from a defensive end of getting everyone involved, igniting the crowd here tonight.
Almost another steal. Radovic fadeaway, gets fouled by Brereton.
You know, in that short period of time, I don't even know what the time span was. A minute, 2 minutes, they're up by 14 points after being down at half. I mean, once again, they play hard, but they don't play good in the first half. In the second half, they come out lights out, and the team is down by 14 that they're playing against, and it looks like it's not even a close game. I don't understand it.
Is there a way to remedy that?
Hey, if they're winning the game, wins. To me, if you win the game, we got, at least you have a good chance of talking it out without anyone getting yelled at there in the locker room. But it all starts a minute ago. Justin threw the ball up to the 17th row there, but able to rebound defensively, the Warriors have, and it's a nice job by all 5 of the Warriors.
Johnson, yes. Oh, it's flowing right now for both Brereton and Zane Johnson. To have that feathery flick falling again. Zane Johnson.
I think combined they're 8-4-11 from the three-point line.
Johnson is 4 of 7. Brereton is 4 of 4. So, yes, they're 8 of 11. Thomas. He got the rim rattler that he was looking for.
And Maya Ostrowski gives it to Justin Thomas in a position where all he has to do is dribble the ball once and go up and do what he does best.
Well, that's why he'll run, because Ostrowski has the ball and he knows he's going to get it. He knows that he's going to get the ball from Ostrowski.
You know, nice steal by Brereton, and just again, no dribble actually, in stride, the flush.
Double-double for Justin Thomas tonight, guys. 16 points, 10 boards. And he'll take a breather on the bench. Trevor Wiseman coming in. Shaq Stokes also out there replacing Ostrowski.
I think Justin Thomas might know the difference between when he comes out of the game and getting yelled at and having all the coaches high-five you. I think he's learning. That's the better way.
Toombs missing that one short. Kinwin with the offensive board. Another opportunity here for South Carolina State. Riley getting all the way to the 10. Couldn't finish. It's batted out of bounds, and it'll stay here.
That was it. Who hit that?
It looked like Riley might have poked that, but prior to that play, Riley showing the elevation down the middle of the lane. Probably surprises anyone else that that ball didn't go in.
Riley's been a little quiet in the second half. How about another takeaway? Johnson gets fouled hard by Toombs. Johnson hitting the deck into the cheerleader row. And Toombs going over there and making sure that the Hawaii sharpshooter is okay. Take another look at this one.
Zane Johnson has some long arms, and I think a lot of guys underestimate what he does defensively, but he gets his arms in there. Another steal. Knows he's going to get the contact, and at least no one got hurt in that play, and it looked like a basic hard foul. Part of the game.
Johnson 0 for 3 from the free throw line. This is an absolute anomaly, at least in the case of Zane Johnson, who came in shooting 92%. Hawaii now 9 of 24 as a team in free throws. Another miss. But doing it on the defensive end, almost had another steal.
You know, as a captain, you like to see that if you're the Warrior teammates. He's struggling in one certain area of his game, but he's still bringing it defensively, hitting the floor, racking up all these steals on the defensive end, and getting the rest of the team going. He's doing a great job tonight. Forget those 4 free throws he's missed. Nice leadership by the part of the captain, Zane Johnson.
Johnson will have a rest. Garrett Jefferson coming in. Kanoa Leahy, Tony Salido, David Hallam's coming to you from the Stan Sheriff Center. Hawaii turning this one around, down 10 in the first half, now leading 69-51 thanks to the hot shooting of Hans Brereton and Zane Johnson. Garrett Jefferson had the steal and then gets fouled by Toombs.
And that's what you're going to learn from the leadership of a point guard like Maya Ostrowski. Garrett Jefferson, nice steal in the backcourt. Read that perfectly on the inbounds play. Now keep your head up and look to your left, because everyone is running with you tonight. Shaquille Stokes is running. Get it back to him. He throws a lob to you. You have a 40-inch vertical to show the crowd.
Jefferson can't hit the free throws. 7 steals this half, by the way, for Hawaii. I have an idea of what this team might be doing tomorrow in the gym. What do you think, guys?
I think they'll be shooting free throws, Kanoa. What do you think?
9 of 26 tonight.
You know, Zane Johnson could be playing a perfect game with 10 steals and 30 points and those 4 missed free throws. He is upset. He is totally upset with himself.
Brereton gives it to Joaquin, who dribbles out of there. Wiseman, what a pair of hands he displayed right there to cling on to that hot pass. That was a little too tall for him. And he'll go to the free throw line. 69-51 Hawaii, 11:36 remaining. You're watching Rainbow Warrior basketball on OC Sports. Back here at the Stan Sheriff Center, where the lead has ballooned to 18 for the home team Rainbows. Let's go inside the numbers presented by HMSA. 70.5% Hawaii's winning percentage in the Stan Sheriff Center. 222 wins versus 93 losses. And they're in decent position here at the 11:36 mark of the second half. Career high 20 points for Hans Brereton. Justin Thomas has pitched in 16 to go along with 10 rebounds. Zane Johnson with 14 points. Hawaii down 10 in the first half, but they have swung things around.
The winning percentage on your home court for all college basketball is 62%. So Hawaii's playing a lot better than the national average.
And Wiseman able to get a couple of free throws to go. The lead is 20 here for the Rainbow Warriors.
Well, it's not the 20, it's how fast they got the 20. I mean, it would seem like a couple minutes ago it was a tie ball game, and now they're up by 20.
It was a 1-point game at halftime. Hawaii down. Wiseman the steal. Another rip-off for the Rainbow Warriors. 8 steals in this half. Brereton puts it on the deck. The leaner. Why not?
You know, you gotta love the way Hans is playing the game. He's not gonna force it, you know, trying to just play off the crowd. He's gonna take what the defense is giving him. They're gonna give him that outside jumper. He'll take it. They'll come up to him. He'll penetrate, and he's strong enough to finish in the lane.
Ikinwin the pull-up jumper. Brereton the board. Brereton 9 of 11 from the field. Here's Stokes, hesitation dribble. Leaves it for Jefferson. Went for the cram, couldn't finish, and now Riley the other way for the Bulldogs. The stop and pop, that's off the mark. Stokes trying to put the moves on Toombs, and Toombs will be caught with the hack. South Carolina State over the 10-foul limit, so Stokes, regardless of in the act or not, will shoot 2 free throws.
Well, you know, I think one of the keys to the game was that, you know, South Carolina State has to play perfect for them to even come close to Hawaii. And of course, what's happened is they've slacked off since the first half, and that perfect game now is out the window, and now they're down by 22 points, 23 points now.
I mean, you can't ask for a better start to any half, coach, right? As you know, being a legendary coach, of course, of being up 20 within 10 minutes of the start of any half, that's pretty impressive basketball.
Amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I can't believe it. I just looked up and they were tied, and now they're up by 24 points.
How about this? Since the 4:03 mark of the first half, Hawaii has outscored the Bulldogs 49-15.
Wow. Wow.
That's turning it on right there for Gibbs guys. And a whistle away from the basketball. They're going to get Trevor Wiseman wrestling for position against Omar Sanders. Sanders playing with 4 fouls. This is a South Carolina State team riding a 6-game losing streak. First time that they've suffered through such a streak since losing 8 straight back in the 96-97 season under legendary coach Cy Alexander. They've given up 80 or more points in 5 of those 6 losses, and Hawaii right now sitting on 75 with 10 minutes left. How about another steal for Hawaii? The lead pass to Jefferson. Lost it on the way up, and Wiseman collects it. Brereton, top of the circle. 3 up, does not fall. His first miss from the land of 3. Rositas the board. Numbers for Hawaii. Stokes to Wiseman. Easy deuce.
Just simply playing together on the break. Again, everything's starting on the defensive end for the Warriors. Just hustling on defense, and I always believe that it's contagious. You have one person really picking you up on the defensive end. Everyone buys into it. Everyone wants to get into the act.
And South Carolina State, frankly, looking winded. Maybe Riley the only one still showing a little bit of a kinetic nature. But everybody else seems to be sucking on air. 3 ball, though, falls for Aaron Martin. This Hawaii team just running the Bulldogs out of the arena right now. Stokes, yes!
Right in front of Coach Gib Arnold. I mean, this kid's a true freshman.
Well, you know,
wow.
When you're winning 80-54, it's kind of hard to have a bad shot. if you're going to take a three, that's the time to take it when you're up by 25, 30 points.
Riley jumper too hard. Rebound Rositas. Another running opportunity for Hawaii. Wiseman. He's going to go to Kravitz. And he does. It's becoming a bit of an up and down exhibition now for the Rainbow Warriors. Martin, that three rims out on him. They're going to look to run again. Stokes tried to lob it to Jefferson. Batted away. And Miles, Bobby Miles, 6'1" sophomore from LA, entering the game for the first time tonight for the Rainbows. But how about Wiseman in transition, guys?
That easily could have been a foul on the part of South Carolina State, but I like the way the Warriors are staying aggressive, finishing strong, not getting cute, but doing what they do best when they get around the rim, especially with their athletes like Trevor Wiseman finishing strong on the break.
Well, obviously, it looks like they're a lot stronger than South Carolina State. I mean, physically stronger. So they're running a lot more, and I think that is really costing South Carolina State their game because they have no legs at all. None.
Jefferson able to draw the whistle. Yeah, South Carolina State, we reiterate, dressing only 10 players for this game. They have played, though, just 8 of them. And a 5th personal foul picked up by Joe Ikinwin. So he will have a seat, and coming in to replace him, Terrence Gillian, a 6'6" freshman, one of 4 freshmen on the roster for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Bulldogs, South Carolina State, they play hard, but as Coach pointed out, Hawaii is just a more physical team. They're bigger inside, and you can see that the stamina is paying off for the Warriors, having the comfort of playing at home the last 2 weeks, and they look like they're ready for WAC play.
Second straight opponent for Hawaii, by the way, that hails from the Palmetto State, South Carolina. The Palmetto State nickname referring to the state tree, the sable palmetto. But of course, Hawaii coming off that win against Clemson, who also hails from South Carolina.
How do you know so much about these trees, Kano? That's what I want to know. Where did you get this information from?
I do my best, Coach.
And you see, that's the kind of information during the game that I think is
Vital.
very important.
Way to beat him to the punch with the vital. I was thinking of another word, but hey, I'll go with vital.
Ridiculous?
No, I didn't say that.
It has multiple meanings, right?
My 7 meanings for the first time.
Wiseman, another takeaway. Here's Jefferson, the power dribble, finish at the rim, and it's becoming a party now for the Rainbow Warriors. Radovich trying to beat everyone down the other end. He does.
Oh, they're up by 30, and there's 7 minutes to go, and it's no contest at all. Not at all.
It was being deemed by some, ourselves included, as Shaq Stokes drops the long three as a potential trap game with what awaits Hawaii on Saturday. That contest against 19th ranked UNLV. 3 p.m. start time. We will have that here on OC Sports. Jefferson, oh, the hang time! Up in and one. And it's all good right now for Hawaii. 90 to 56, 7:04 remaining. 5th foul picked up by Luka Radovich. So he's out of the game. Garrett Jefferson getting airborne and staying there for a while. We'll be back. All smiles for the home team, 90-56. Hawaii has outscored South Carolina State 49-14 after halftime. And let's check it out, how it works, presented by Central Pacific Bank. David, I won't even begin to talk about how to dunk, so take us through it.
Well, you saw already how it doesn't work early on those misses, and this is how you finished. I mean, basic dunking. I mean, I can go back about 2-3 months, and I was doing that at Kanoa in the park, but I'll be lying to all of you guys. But those are those ways that you finish strong on the break, not getting too fancy, as Coach pointed out. But you gotta love that he tried to get the crowd involved. Justin, he's like a box of chocolates, right? You just never know what you're gonna get with this guy. So he's a gift to this basketball team, and you know, sometimes you return gifts, sometimes you cherish it for all time and eternity.
He'll giveth and then he'll taketh away.
In a heartbeat.
But tonight, Justin Thomas, 16 points, 10 rebounds. I think Gib Arnold will take that every day of the week. So a few months ago, huh, David? Is that what you...
A few months in dog months, or dog years, you can call it.
Don't be ridiculous.
Late 90s.
Stokes couldn't finish on the jumper. Miles off the mark there. Jefferson fighting for the rebound. And he wins the battle, finally chases it down across the far sideline, and then it gets deflected out of bounds. Devin Joint into the game for the first time for South Carolina State, number 15. He's a 6'4" freshman from Darlington, South Carolina.
This is the part of the game you have to be careful. You know, sometimes you get some injuries that you don't want to get, and play gets a little sloppy, and you know, the game's not as interesting nearly as it was before when it was a little bit closer. They're winning almost by 40 points now, so right on cue, Coach.
Yeah, case in point right there. Miles dribbling it out of bounds. We mentioned that showdown Saturday, Hawaii versus number 19 UNLV. The running Rebels are running again these days. Up and down the floor, throwing lobs all over the place. They're 14-2 on the season. They have the 2 UCLA transfers, Mike Moser and Chase Stanbeck. And last night, UNLV defeating Central Arkansas, winning that one 124-75. Chase Stanbeck, 29 points, was 9 of 11 from three-point land. The Running Rebels hit 18 total threes.
I can't wait for that game. I think that's going to be a terrific game for UH to go into the WAC because they're playing a terrific opponent. They are playing at home, so that's advantage UH. And now they're playing without a doubt. I mean, there's no question. This is the best basketball they've played all year. This half is, without a doubt, the best half of basketball they've played all year. So I'm looking forward to that game. I can't wait till it starts.
91 on the board for Hawaii, Coach.
And I have a good seat, too. So I'm really
yeah,
happy.
you do. Don't scalp it, all right, whatever you do. This is now the highest point total of the season for the Rainbow Warriors, 92 points. Pass underneath, and that is Sanders. He'll draw the whistle.
You know, if you're Coach Arnold, you also like the fact that on defense, they're not going to give up easy layups, even though the game is out of reach here for the Warriors. And they're going to continue to challenge, they're going to continue to help from the weak side. That time, Trevor Weissman still in the area, fighting to the end. You want to end on a good note, even though it's going to be most likely a win, of course, for the Warriors. But as you can see, they're not going to put any quit on the defensive end.
You talked about this coming together for Gib Arnold and his gang, Coach. Right at the perfect time, through the Diamond Head Classic, where this team receives some of the most exposure that it will receive, being able to perform on national television. Tie-up called on the rebound. It'll stay here with South Carolina State. Also, you have these non-conference affairs like UNLV hanging just a few days away, but then right around the corner into the new year, it's WAC play. So if there was a time for Hawaii to turn it on, it certainly is now.
Well, I think, you know, the people watching UH play now have a feeling that they are capable of beating anybody. You know, if you can beat Xavier, you can beat anybody in the WAC, that's for sure, without a doubt. So this game with UNLV, as I said before, is not only an interesting contest, but a win by the Rainbows will definitely put them on top of that WAC with a great deal of confidence.
Sanders able to post up Rositas, who was defending him on the front side. And the lob was perfect.
Kano, I know you have a lot of factoids and a lot of information. Kano, my question would be, what's the 100-point giveaway? I mean, that's the only thing I'm looking forward to right now. Is if you're a Warrior fan here, is what do you get if you score 100 points?
I think that's an excellent question, Kano. I want to know what the answer is.
It's free Tony Solito autographs.
You have to wait till 100 points? Coach signed about 8 in the elevator as we were coming here, Kano, so pretty much giving it up for free out there.
How about Rositas at the other end? We were showing the how not to and how to. Here's another one for the how not to.
Well, he got blocked by the rim there, and he came back and got it and scored. So,
you know what's the beauty of it? As a player, you can't help but laugh with love. With love.
With love.
And looking at that bench, every single Warrior started laughing, hilariously to that highlight. With love. With love. With love.
when you have a 33-point lead, you can love everybody around town.
And
no problem at all.
And I dig that. Here's Miles for 3. That went off the mark. Comes out to Stokes. His riser. That doesn't go. But I like how you add that, with love. That makes everything better. It's like one of those, hey, no offense, but and you can go ahead and say whatever you want to, right? Toombs. South Carolina State in the midst of a 7-game road swing as they will play South Carolina. Another missed dunk by Rositas in Columbia, January 3rd, before returning home against Morgan State in MEAC play. 2 missed dunks for Rositas, and even he's trying to hide a smile. Went off the mark out of the palm of Gillian. Can Hawaii hit 100? That's the question.
Hawaii will hit 100. There's no question about it.
Get that autograph hand ready there, Coach.
I'm ready.
Wiseman. No, Rositas. Yes.
Keep fighting, good fella. It's going to happen. I have a feeling he's going to end it with a 2-hand above the rim smash before this game is over.
And checking into the game, or getting ready to check into the game, is P.E. Mins, local product out of Kamehameha. Toombs. That draws nothing. And Hawaii off to the races again. Stokes got that one denied. Blocked by Sanders. Toombs to pull up for 3. Yeah, that rolled around a couple of times. And a whistle by the officiating crew as there is a little bit of chatter going on between Khalif Toombs and Shaquille Stokes, and Toombs has just been teed up.
It looked like the Warriors may have gotten away with one a couple of minutes prior to that technical. Looks like Shaquille Stokes may have maybe given him a little elbow at the midcourt area to Khalif Toombs, sending him to the ground, and that kind of went unnoticed by the referees. But after this make,
there's Stokes. That was nothing malicious, it appeared. Stokes was just standing there. They collide. Then there was a little bit of chatter between those two. Terrence Gillian jumped in on it, and Gillian, I believe, is actually the one who got teed up.
Well, I think they're checking to see whether that foul was a technical 2.
Yeah,
and award free throws to South Carolina State.
yeah, definitely a little acting job on the part of Khalif Toombs. Now that I look at the replay, and Stokes showing a lot of maturity of walking away from that near altercation, verbal or physical, and just simply going towards the bench, keeping his composure.
And that's the key, composure. And there's Toombs and Stokes sort of exchanging words and looks and posturing going on.
I know the South Carolina State coach is a little upset about it. I really didn't get to see the whole act.
And Arnold actually getting in the thick of things to try to separate the two. It was Terrence Gillian who sort of picked up the baton there and some of the trash talking responsibilities. But what do you think of
Oh,
that? I
no,
mean,
no.
that seems completely by accident,
That's
right?
just completely by accident. That's
He's
not
just
even,
trying to draw.
I don't even know if that's a foul.
gain an extra possession. So
No.
Now, the composure here is
definite
key.
flop. Definite flop.
We just saw Xavier in town
Flop.
last week. Xavier, of course, with that December 10th on-court brawl with Cincinnati, forcing 4 players on each side to be suspended. So this is now a very sensitive type of situation for everybody involved, including the officiating crew. The officials can review any call or any collision to see if there is a flagrant 1 or flagrant 2 that needs to be applied.